Hi, I'm Carol Andrews for another episode of Southwest TV News. Here's some of the stories coming up on today's show. It was the reunion of the century as crowds gathered in Shaunavon for the community centennial celebration. Hungry patrons lined the streets, making their way to the pancake breakfast, with all proceeds going towards Rock Solid Refuge. The regular WMBL season is drawing to a close, and the Swift Current Indians are eyeing the playoffs. The Swift Current Soapbox Racing Association is into its 31st year and has become a summer tradition for racers and their families. Thanks for joining us here today. Several communities here in the Southwest are reaching a milestone this year. And in this report, we take a closer look at Shaunavon Centennial. This Southwest TV News Summer Around the Southwest feature is proudly brought to you by Innovation Credit Union. Imagine the possibilities. It was the reunion of the century as crowds gathered in Shaunavon for the community centennial celebration. Hungry patrons lined the streets, making their way to the pancake breakfast, with all proceeds going towards Rock Solid Refuge. The breakfast was a great time to catch up with family and friends and reminisce of days gone by. Dwight Smith is originally from Shaunavon and felt it was important to make the drive up from Maple Creek with his family.
Yeah, no, born and raised here, just east of town. So yeah, this is still home.
While others stood out in the crowd, dressed up in period costume for the weekend celebration.
I'm really just dressed up because my mother is volunteering and I thought I'd just help her.
Oh, very nice.
And my outfit, I don't know, I'm trying to sort of represent about the Victorian era, sort of, a little bit earlier than the town Shaunavon. And yeah, we just bought it at the Salvation Army in Red Deer. Well, it's really nice to reconnect with all the friends I have that I haven't seen in years. And just the number of people, and it's built up so much over since I've left, so it's really booming. It's really nice to see Shaunavon just do so well.
The activities continued in the downtown core as visitors found the perfect spot to watch the Kiddies and Main Centennial Parade. Over 75 floats and other entries took to the streets, highlighting a historical aspect of Shaunavon to present day, while showcasing the spirit of the community.
It rocked! I'm one of the parade marshals. We lapped it. The last floats were just leaving us. The first floats were coming back. It's awesome! Awesome! It's huge. Biggest I've ever seen. I didn't even count the number of floats. It's so impressed. It's awesome. We love it.
Additional festivities continued at the Grand Coteau Heritage Center with historical slideshows, displays, and live entertainment, with an old-time fair at the Wickenheiser Center showcasing an array of quilts and other entries. Shaunavon's high school athletes were also in the spotlight, with the Athletic Wall of Fame, honoring past athletes and coaches. The Speirs family from Shaunavon were all individually honored for their efforts in track and field, and were overwhelmed by the induction and the reunion weekend overall.
Well, it's very exciting. It's a real honor to be inducted, for sure. We had a great time in high school. Of course, everybody always says it's the best years of your life, and it's true. The athletics kind of got in the way of just a good time and development of great friends, and it's just awesome to come back and enjoy the day.
Oh, it's awesome. This is it's been a fantastic day. It's a great part of a fantastic weekend, being home for the 100th. And it's a super celebration. Sports was huge for me. I took part in anything I could do and was very active in school, and it led me to be a phys ed teacher.
And it doesn't matter how long you've been away, it's always home. And it's even home to our kids, you know, who come stay with grandma in the summer for a couple of weeks. They just absolutely love Shaunavon. I don't know what it is, but very special little place.
A well-rounded weekend of celebration, which started with a 12-person committee and hundreds of volunteers for the celebration of the century.
For me, I'm just overwhelmed. I'm born and raised here, and it's been heartwarming for me and everyone else who has talked to us. People are congratulating us and thanking us, and we're just saying thanks for showing up and welcome home.
And with 100 years of growth on record for the town of Shaunavon and a bright future ahead in the heart of the oil and agricultural sector, Mayor Sharon Dickey encourages more individuals to visit Shaunavon and call it home.
You just have to look around today and see the hospitality that's there. It's a very open community. You talk to young people that move into Shaunavon with their young families. It doesn't take long before they're feeling like it's home too. So we provide the best of business services. There isn't anything that we need to leave our community for, and I think that says a lot for the community.
Shaunavon is located approximately 1 hour south of Swift Current, and this year's Centennial celebration coincided with the annual Boomtown Days held every July. According to Stats Canada, Saskatchewan's merchandise exports increased by $724 million in the first 4 months of 2013, as compared to the previous year. This data shows the greatest increase in production amongst all provinces. With this increase in numbers comes the need for more routes of transportation to export Saskatchewan's products. One of the province's main export partners is the U.S., but with limited routes into the country, the need for a Western trade corridor increases. A group in the U.S. dedicated to creating a trade corridor from Mexico to Canada is the Ports to Plains Alliance. This is a non-profit, community-driven advocacy group dedicated to promoting economic security throughout North America's energy and agricultural heartland. Joe Keeley is the Vice President of Operations and explains the need for the trade corridor into Canada.
Saskatchewan is exporting about $1.9 billion to the 10 U.S. states in the Ports to Plains corridor, including Mexico. That compares to China at about 1.7 for its entire exports. So we're a larger export market than the next largest country that Saskatchewan exports to.
In order to continue to export these products efficiently, quicker routes must be available. The number 4 highway would be part of the Ports to Plains trade corridor, but there are some local issues that must be addressed before this project can become possible from a Canadian standpoint. First, our border crossing into the U.S. must be a 24-hour operation, as opposed to its current 13-hour format. Secondly, there is an 80-kilometer stretch of highway near the Cadillac area that is not primary weight to support transport trucks. Swift Current City Councillor Ryan Pluis has been working closely on this project and describes the logistics that are involved in a trade corridor.
In the context of what we're talking about with the number 4 highway, we're obviously talking about truck traffic. A trade corridor, though, is more than that. It's more than just the infrastructure. It's hotels, it's service stations, it's whether it's tire shops or whatever. It's everything that supports infrastructure and trade. In this case, again, north to south.
Another stakeholder involved in the project is Community Futures Southwest. Playing a pivotal role since the project's inception in 2009, Community Futures Southwest has rallied politicians, communities, businesses, and organizations as supporting partners. General Manager John Parker explains how the provincial and federal governments play a factor in the outcome of the project and why this could affect Saskatchewan for years to come.
Because we're dealing with 2 separate factors. I mean, when you talk about a 24-hour commercial port, you're talking federal, and that's a federal jurisdiction. And you're talking the highway improvements, it's a provincial entity. We are in a boom economy and a growing economy, and I think that it's important we recognize that we have to spend money in that kind of an environment in order to make sure we are capitalizing on all of the assets to grow the economy in the whole province, not just the Southwest.
Thanks to Community Futures Southwest, the Ports to Plains Alliance, and the support of communities across the region, improvements to the number 4 highway and the possibility of a 24-hour border are becoming a reality. Saskatchewan's economy is booming, and projects such as the number 4 highway corridor will assist in keeping the positive momentum into the future.
I declare the meeting casino open on behalf of the left.
Southwest TV News is hitting the road with our annual Summer Around the Southwest tour, covering a variety of exciting events across the region. The Southwest TV News Summer Around the Southwest Tour is proudly brought to you by Innovation Credit Union. Imagine the possibilities. Another exciting season of Market Square returns to downtown Swift Current, featuring live entertainment, fresh garden produce, crafts, and other unique vendors. Market Square, every Saturday at the corner of Central and Chaplin. Presented by Standard Motors, in partnership with Innovation Credit Union and Southwest TV News. As another WMBL season draws to a close, we catch up with the Swift Current Indians and find out their hopes for the playoffs.
The 2013 Western Major Baseball League season is quickly coming to an end, with the Swift Current Indians sitting comfortably at the top of the Central Division. Head coach Joe Carnahan is pleased with what the team has been able to accomplish in a short period of time, and gives us his thoughts on how the season has progressed.
We've kind of been a little bit up and down. Started the season off pretty well, while we were waiting for players and stuff, and continue to play well. Then we went into a little bit of a drought there, and that's typical of every year. And right now, though, we're playing good baseball, and hopefully we can continue that to finish up the season and into playoffs.
Like many sports, you can lose on any given night, regardless of how good your team is. Much can be said about the game of baseball, as many different factors can determine the final outcome, such as key players getting injured, fly balls dropping in the right places, or running into a hot pitcher. Indians infielder Mario Sanchez talks about the teams to beat this year and his baseball playoff philosophy.
Definitely Medhat, Okotoks, and I've seen Lethbridge get hot for a little bit. I've been looking at their records. They won the last 7 games as well. So, but any team in the playoffs, you know what I mean? Any team is well worthy of beating us or us beating them. So basically just got to go out there and want to win it. I've heard coaches say you play your grandma 100 times, she's going to at least beat you once. So, any day, it's baseball gods, whatever they decide.
Only time will tell what the baseball gods have in store for the remainder of the season. But some of the Indians give their thoughts on what it would mean to bring a championship home to Swift Current.
I think it'd be unreal. The town's already, they do so much for the team, and I think it'd be great to bring a championship here, just to give the fans, something to show that all the work that they put in and bring it back to them would be a great cause.
Oh, it'd be great. For a bunch of guys coming together for a short period of time, putting in a lot of work and playing 46 games in 2 months, and then all of a sudden, possibly 15 more in the playoffs. And anytime you put in a lot of hard work as the volunteers and the organization does, and the city itself, backing us by showing up at the park and backing us through sponsorship and volunteers and all that stuff. Anything, all that hard work comes through at the end with a championship. It's pretty special for everybody.
Be sure to go out and support the Indians as they make their way towards the playoffs in pursuit of another WMBL championship. For Southwest TV News, I'm Scott Armstrong.
W.W. Smith Insurance has reached a milestone as it celebrates its centennial. Having served Southwest Saskatchewan for the past 100 years, W.W. Smith Insurance is your motor license issuer, while specializing in all of your personal and commercial needs, including home, auto, agro, business, and life insurance. W.W. Smith Insurance, independently owned and operated since 1913.
Our company helps tell your story and provides you with the solution on how to market your business. Because making a great video is only half the equation. You have to know how to use it.
Downtown Swift Current was turned into Raceway Central as soapbox racers from across the province took to the streets. The Swift Current Soapbox Racing Association is into its 31st year and has become a summer tradition for racers and their families. The big race day for the club generally occurs on Father's Day. However, with inclement weather this year and other scheduling conflicts, the Swift Current event was pushed back to July 21st. Close to 30 participants from Swift Current, Moose Jaw, and Saskatoon, ranging in age from 7 through 11 in the juniors and ages 9 through 15 in the senior category, polished up their cars for the full day of racing.
Doesn't look like you have a lot of room in there. Is it pretty cramped, or?
Yes.
Is it fun?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's fun if everything works.
And does it usually work?
Yeah.
And with the racers clocked in the range of 50 kilometers per hour speeding down Central Avenue, safety is at the top of the list for everyone.
Yes, every car is teched before they race. So as well as getting weighed in, we make sure that the steering is proper. The brakes work proper. They have enough brake pad to properly stop. All the cables are safe. Making sure the car is safe to go down. That's the most important thing about the race. Yeah, it's all powered by gravity. And for race day, all the cars are the same weight as well. So junior cars are 206 pounds and the senior cars are 250 pounds with the racer in the car. So that kind of evens the playing field for everybody.
An annual event which is run by volunteers from setup to officiating. And a sport which has become a pastime for the Hawkridge family, with Michael as board president and his 2 children, Christian and Amisha, taking to the raceway.
I've been racing since I was 7, I think, so almost 5 years. This is my 5th year, I think.
And how have you done today?
Pretty good so far.
What do you like about it?
I like just going fast. I like racing.
Despite the fact that they often race against each other, it still appears to be a friendly competition, no matter who crosses the finish line first.
So how does it feel to beat your brother?
Good, but bad. Because I wish he would have won.
Members of the Swift Current Soapbox Racing Association begin practicing for the season each May, with a regular Father's Day race in Swift Current and other events around the province. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at mylocaltv.ca. And be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.